Hey everyone, this is Pine Grove News Live again. I wanted to put out at least one or two things that I thought were important that I didn't put out in my previous video tonight, which is not going to be in YouTube. If you want to listen to it, it will be in the archives on Mixlr. That is mixlr.com/12 Pine. And it'll just be listed under the most recent show reel that you can go and click on the bottom left. So I'm not going to publish that out on YouTube, but I will publish this one, and this is the reason why. We'll get to that in just a second. Okay. So when I was looking around for the news, I ran across this that was pretty interesting. Okay, and this is something we're kind of, waiting for. I'll talk about, signs in the heavens and so on and so forth. I mean, this article claims that it's not, okay, it's not Planet 9, it's not Planet X, but I don't know who's putting this out. Current opinions, Jamal Rail. I don't know what this is, but it says down here that there is no such thing as Planet 9 or Planet X, which, may be true because, I mean, we call it a planet, and there are many people out there calling it what it should be, and that is that dwarf star, our companion star, not Nibiru, okay? Supposedly, this star, which many people are talking about this being close to us now with its companion planets. And that's one of the reasons why we are going through apparently some of these, quite a lot of these storms and other things, planet tilting, crustal movement, all this other stuff. That this could be it. And it also talks about, and I'll read part of it, that it is a couple thousand year, what do you call it, circuit. And I'll show you. There's a chart down a little further down that will show you exactly where it is. But so, anyways, the title here, and this is from the Watchers, posted today. Our star's companion is approaching the inner planets of the solar system. So, according to this article, there is no such thing as Planet 9 or Planet X. What actually exists is the companion of the sun. We've been told many times that most, systems, solar systems, are binary, meaning they have two suns. That is the majority of, I guess, the systems that they know about. The majority of them have another sun. Okay, so it's a brown dwarf, and it's a size, actually, they're actually saying here the size is between 10 and 20 times that of Earth. The brown dwarf is circling the sun in a vast orbit, which takes it 60 times further than Neptune. And it passes through the inner part of the solar system when the sun reaches the highest position in the galaxy. So I haven't listened to this video here, but I'm just wanting to show you, where our planets are. But what they don't show you in here between Mars and Jupiter is what I believe is it's either the asteroid belt or the Kuiper belt. We'll look down a little further. So, in any case, it says when the sun moves higher and reaches the highest point above the galactic plane, which takes several thousand years. Now, everyone's talking about this, the time it takes this circuit of this 600 years. I mean, even when you talk about the Sumerian text and the Anunnaki and blah, 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 planet Nibiru, and they're saying 3,600 years. Gil Broussard, who's done so much work, even relating stories in the Bible to things that have happened on Earth with respect to, of course, he thinks it's 360 years, and who knows, could be. Nobody knows for sure. They're just guessing. So it passes through the inner planets of the solar system, and at that time it becomes visible even to the naked eye. Well, according to Gil Broussard, yeah, it's going to pass between the Earth and the Sun and actually block out the Sun for 150 days. I'm not sure about the 150 days. It's either 3 days or 150 days, and then it's going to pass and go on the other side and do the same thing. I mean, he's talked about this a lot. He has all the data. Just go to Gil Broussard, go to his Facebook page. He has all kinds of charts, things that happened in the Bible, when it happened, the distance, the years between each incident. And that's including the 180,000. You remember that from the Bible, where it rained down, what was it, sulfur and, the burning rock that killed 180,000 people that Joshua and his army were facing. It only killed them. It only killed his enemy, Joshua's enemy, God's enemy. And in any case, I just needed to bring this out because it's pretty relevant for the time. And to see that it, so here's the actual chart of where it is right now, they're saying. Excuse me. I mean, this chart right here gives this orbit. It's not going to, well, according to this chart, it's not going to go around us, according to this chart. But anyways, I mean, here we have the asteroid belt. And you got Earth right here, the third planet. Fourth is Mars. And then after Mars, you got this asteroid belt that's supposedly there as a barrier, as a protection. Even the story of the Anunnaki says that they couldn't, go through this barrier. It was either this one or the Kuiper Belt, which is the outermost layer of our solar system. Then, of course, they got this one, the Oort cloud. But apparently, there's things that shouldn't be able to pass one or both of these barriers. And some people claim it's actually the Van Allen belt that's around planet Earth. But these are supposed to be obstructions, so other things, whatever they are, can't get through. So there's your chart. Obviously, I'll leave the link. So if you're wondering why astronomers could not detect this celestial object until now, in spite of its size and measured influence, it's because brown dwarfs are in general very difficult to detect, since they emit almost no visible light. And keep in mind that the first brown dwarf was discovered very recently, and only very recently, 1995. Okay? But according to this article, this gentleman, McLean, suspects that the galaxy is teeming with them. Yeah. However, they can detect them. I know they can detect them with the Lucifer, which is actually owned by the Vatican. That's who they call it. The Lucifer telescope can see in infrared and can see this brown dwarf. So anyway, these brown dwarfs are so elusive, so hard to find, McLean said, that they can be detected best in the infrared. See? And even with the infrared, they are very difficult to detect. NASA has detected and mentioned at least on one occasion that they know something's out there because of the influence of things surrounding this area, but they haven't been able to detect what it is yet. But they know it's there because other things are being influenced, like our solar system and our planet has for the past few years. Yeah, and just remember, Gil Brizard in his research that he's gone into very fine details, has said that this planet, this dwarf star, when it comes, it's going to be bringing debris with it. If you see that something like this, I mean, this is now, see, they don't show the trajectory of this being part of our solar system. They're showing it being by itself, and they don't show any other planets, so being very vague here. But, you know, if something's going to come through this or this, it's going to bring debris with it as it goes, you know, wherever in between the Earth and the sun, bringing debris in the front of it and in back of it. Okay. And then apparently, I forget which way it goes around, but it's supposed to be blocking the sun on its way past and on its way around. I don't know how it's going to do it around, but anyway. So, and I'm glad, you know, Ken had left a message for me in Facebook about an article, and we'll try and find it right now. Might be right next to this one. Yeah, this one. And there's one other article that might have something to do with it too. But no, this asteroid hoard. NASA spots space rock half the size of Ben Nevis on dangerous Earth orbit. Now, I don't know what Ben Nevis is. I don't follow this that much. I don't know what they're playing here.
Orbiter is a science mission that will get close to the sun to take crucial measurements and trying to find out how the heliosphere of the sun is operating and is working. And to do that, it carries a series of instruments, actually 10 instruments. Some of them will be taking in situ measurements. They will be taking in particles as they come out of the sun before they get further away, and then they get all mixed up in turbulence. And at the same time, it will be taking remote images and spectrographs of the sun surface, of the sun corona, and of the sun heliosphere to try to correlate what happens in those areas of the sun with the particles which are also collected.
Okay, so I don't know. See, NASA's keeping a watchful eye on the mid-November close approach of a behemoth space rock that is almost half the size of Ben Nevis and hurtling towards Earth at 1,800 miles an hour. I don't know what Ben Nevis is. Maybe I can go look it up. Oops. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. And yes. Yeah, okay. Ben Nevis asteroid. Yeah, well, we just saw that. Let's go half the size of Ben Nevis. What's Ben Nevis? Somebody tell me what Ben Nevis is? I don't know what it is. Let's see. Oh, is that a structure or something? Well, the asteroid's name is 481394 2006 SF6 and is set for its closest approach to Earth on November 21st. So there's a date. Let's get back to where we were. And that's this. Mid-November. So it's 21st of November. I'll write that down. We got ourselves another date. Remember, we got dates in also in December. We had one for the 19th, And obviously that didn't happen because it is the 21st and there has been no nuclear bomb anywhere that I know of, at least that they're telling about, go off anywhere. So anyway, that's what you get. Dates, they never seem to come true. But don't dismiss it altogether yet. You can dismiss it when it goes by and say, well, oh well, let's not be waiting for dates. Let's look for signs in the heavens. Okay? Let's see what this has to say.
It's been almost 10 years since little Pluto was demoted from being a planet, but today scientists from the California Institute of Technology have announced that they finally have solid evidence for a planet X, a true ninth planet on the edge of our solar system.
While the ninth planet has not officially or technically been spotted yet, it is believed to be far beyond the orbit of Pluto, roughly the size of Neptune, with a mass 10 times that of Earth.
Staff writer for the Scientific American, Michael Lemonick, has written an article in the upcoming issue and is here to tell us more about this incredible discovery. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
So how did this discovery come about?
It came about because there are things out there, little icy objects that are orbiting in a funny way, and nobody was quite sure why. It seemed like there might be something with gravity pulling on them, but nobody quite understood. And finally, these scientists that you talked about took a really hard look at it, did simulations, calculations, and they came up with the explanation. It probably is this giant planet.
I think I read somewhere it orbits the sun every 10,000 to 20,000 years.
Right.
Is that why no one has seen it to this point?
No, that's not why. It's because it's so dim. It's so far away that even though it's big, it's very, very dim and it'd be very tough to spot with a telescope.
I'm also fascinated at the idea that this planet could be so far out there and still our sun be the mass that is keeping it in the gravitational pull of our solar system.
Right, yeah, but no, it's true.
That's incredible. And so there was a thought at one point from scientists that when they thought that there was something beyond Pluto, that it might have been all the massive objects floating in the Kuiper Belt, but it's not.
Right.
Okay, well, they're not even talking about the dwarfs sun anymore. They're talking about Planet X. And I've heard everything there is to hear about Planet X. You hear all kinds of dates. I've heard, 30,000 years, 36,000 years, 3,600 years, 360 years. I've heard 20,000, 10,000. Yeah, they don't know. All they know is that they've observed, like I said in the beginning, something big out there is, it's actually manipulating or having an effect on things around it. So that's all they know because they haven't been able to see it yet. I've mentioned before, I don't know how that they know where we are, okay, in the Milky Way. How do they have a picture of the Milky Way? They supposedly haven't been able to get, they did with one that's off into the beyond our solar system, okay? How can they get a picture of what the Milky Way looks like, or how can they get a picture of where we are in this Milky Way when they can't get anything out of the system, the solar system? I mean, apparently they can see other galaxies from far, far away, but can they go and, you know what I'm saying? Put something up so high on a different trajectory somehow and actually look down on our own galaxy? It's just those things that just make everything else just, it's unbelievable. It's not believable. So they're just putting out maybe something they've been told. They don't have the technology that we know of that can pinpoint us in the Milky Way. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you got this asteroid. There's been many asteroids. So November 21st, we'll be looking for that. Okay, and I haven't found out what NISA is. Please, somebody knows. Let me know. So with that, I've got a couple, one or two more things to show you. There was a 6.4 earthquake. Okay, this was sent, and it's from Vanuatu. Okay, but again, this is what I was sent almost instantly afterwards. Same thing, but it says that it was deleted. Okay, this event, this Vanuatu, okay, this one right here that they sent first. So I made a copy of this because I couldn't bring it, do it any other way. But anyway, here it is, and they've deleted it. Event deleted notification. This would be the first time I've ever seen them send out a notification on an earthquake. And believe me, Vanuatu has had many earthquakes and quite a few at this scale. But then go and send a notification of its deletion almost instantly afterwards. So if it wasn't an earthquake, what would cause a 6.4 magnitude earthquake or similar to that? What's going on? I think that's the question we need to ask. What is going on? So, is there anything else here that I wanted to show you that was pretty much important besides what I already did show you? Haley's comment, I mean, things that we should be looking at. Yeah, I was around for 86. What does it come, every 30 years? This weekend, remember, this coming weekend. Well, it says this week. All right, so what else? I think that's about it. That's all I wanted to put out there. That I did really want you to find out. That's more important than any of the other news. So with that, God bless you, everyone. We will be back Wednesday. Just wanted to make sure I got that out before and I will put that out and the links. So not like the last video. The last video will not be put on YouTube. It is in the Mixler show reel though, 12 Pine. That's the only way you're going to see that one or hear that one. Okay, so God bless and be safe, everyone. Peace out.